guys, Darkside Spencer here, and today guys, I will be reviewing Grave Encounters, which is about a film crew who lost themselves in a haunted psychiatric hospital in search of evidence of a paranormal activity. And as they shoot, they realize that this may be their final episode. Let's see how that went.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Grave Encounters.
Psychiatric hospitals like this were seen as sort of a dumping ground for embarrassing family members rather than a place that they could go to actually get help.
Many of them were severely disturbed. Truly frightening.
I swear to God that I saw someone right at the end of the hall there.
And he swears that someone pushed him off the ladder.
So you guys see this window here? I lock it up real good at night. Come back in the morning. Sometimes this thing's wide open.
Tonight, my crew and I, using the most sophisticated in ghost hunting equipment,
We're in search of definitive proof of spirits that were unsettled in life.
and possibly unsettled in the afterlife.
Well guys, I seen Grave Encounters while it came out. I don't know if I've seen it in theaters, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Netflix. I've seen 1 and 2, they both came out on Netflix, and I was pretty astonished by them. I was amazed, and what I like about this movie is it's so realistic that people actually started following the movie. They wanted sequels, and while I went and seen the first one before the second one came out, I will tell you the story here in a minute. But first, let me tell you exactly what I think about the acting. Alright. The acting was pretty realistic. I gotta admit, I actually believe that the first one was real. I do believe that. I've told many of my friends who's actually seen the movie, I've said that I think that the first one's real. And the second one, it wasn't really believable because they weren't the same people. And even though they had one person from the original movie that came back, which was the guy who played, hold on, let me find his name. Lance Preston. The guy who played him, which is Sean Rogerson, came back and played him as himself again. And he wasn't as believable as the first movie. And the reason why is because he was supposed to be crazy and all that, and you see like rats and stuff. And I'll tell you about it whenever I make the second movie review. Anyways, let's get back to the story. Basically, like, they go to a psychiatric hospital where basically they meet up with this guy named Jerry Hartfield, which is the producer. Actually, they don't meet him, but the movie starts out with Jerry Hartfield, which is the producer of Grave Encounters. And he introduces Lance Preston and explains that Grave Encounters was canceled after the 5th episode when the footage for episode 6 mysteriously went missing. And of course, what do you think? They recovered the footage and back, and I think it was like 2010, brought to Hartfield, which is Jerry Hartfield, and I'm guessing he released it as a movie, and that's what Grave Encounters is. Well, they go back to this hospital, right, and this is where the 6th episode was being filmed at, and they stay, I think it was like a lockdown, and they met with there's actually, here, I'll tell you about the characters. There's Lance, who's obviously the star of the show. There's the specialist, Sasha Parker, who, you know, she's a specialist, I don't know. There had to be a woman in this one. Surveillance operator Matt White, cameraman T.C. Gibson, which he's the black guy, I like the black guy. And fake medium, House Gray, Houston Gray. If you guys don't know what a medium is, they're supposed to say like, oh, ghosts are real, oh, you know, the usual crap. And as the movie goes on, there becomes more vicious and weird encounters with, you know, dead people. And as the movie went on, it got more frightening, and the sounding was really good. I will say that, like, mixed in with the acting and how they were freaking out, and it was just like, it really made me believe that it was real. And the sounds of it was, like, insane. Like, you could hear the whole building shaking. Like, literally, it sounded so amazing. I recommend this movie 1,000,000 times to anybody. Anyways, this movie is just freaking insane. Like, it was basically like watching real people die on video. I've never seen people die on video, but if this was real, I would have believed it, because if somebody didn't tell me this was a movie, I would have believed that this was real. Honestly, this is like, I think this is better than Paranormal Activity, honestly. And I'm a little late on the movie, because this movie came out on June 1st, 2011, and I believe that this first one was real. I'll tell you about the second one in my next movie review. If you guys can't believe it, the movie did not have a really good budget at all. They had only $2 million to make the film, and the box office only brought in about $5 million. But you gotta think about it. Netflix probably brought in millions, because that movie is probably better than Paranormal Activity with realism. I'll tell you about Paranormal Activity whenever I do another one. But let me talk about the directing. And I never really done the directing on any of my movie reviews, but I'm gonna start it now. The movie was directed by the Vicious Brothers, which I don't know much about them. All I know is that they've only done these two movies, which is Grave Encounters 1 and 2. I almost said Paranormal Activity, but they didn't do that one. But all I know is that these movies both are well directed. The pacing was okay on the second movie. It was like, you know when a movie's good whenever you're always in, you're always like tuned in, you know what I mean? You're never actually taking your eyes off the screen. And that's what I liked about the first one, because every time I watch that movie, I can't get enough of how real and how vicious the ghosts were. And one time, like, someone's hair flew up, and it was just so incredible. I will say that. The movie was really great with the directing. The pacing was better with the first movie than the second one. I'll tell you that next time I do my movie review. But anyways, guys, the producers, Twin Engine Films, Digital Interference, or Interference Productions, Sean Anglesky, I guess, Michael Carlin. I don't know who any of those people are, but I'm looking at the movie right now, like I'm just telling you facts about the movie. I'm probably the first person to ever do that to you guys, but anyways, I'm probably gonna do that anyways. But anyway, guys, let me tell you guys what I think on what the score should be for a 95-minute movie. And since it's Canadian films don't really do much to me, because they're, like, most of them are not worth watching. They're sort of cheesy. But with a budget of $2 million to make this film, and I'm getting ready to get into the spoiler section, I would probably have to, on 1 to 10, I would probably have to give this movie, I can't say it's a 10. A 10's freaking perfect. I'd probably have to give this movie a 9, because this movie is really good. I recommend it to all you guys. I don't care what anybody says. This is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. And of course, guys, I'll leave it off with that for the spoiler section. They'll be coming up here in a second. But that is, if you guys have not seen the movie, please click off this video right now. I'll even give you a second to do that. And as always, guys, you guys know what I'm going to do, the spoiler section, and let's start with the end. I mean, like always, that's what I always do. The ending was, it was sort of cheesy, and it was sort of like people, like, I think they did that so they can spawn another sequel. Basically what they did was they had Lance alive, but his eye or something like that, he got a lobotomy from a doctor who used to work there, but he was killed. And he then states that he is now better or something like that, and that he can go home. And I'll leave that. I'll leave that later. But basically, like, I guess it indicates that he's mentally ill now, and the lobotomy worked. And I guess that sucks because that's kind of weird and all that, but whatever. Also, guys, the building is actually really crazy on how it's mapped out, because if you guys have seen the movie, there's actually parts where doors that were there to get out are now gone, and it's like they're trapped, you know what I mean? And like, they were looking for the door to get out and all that. They had all their stuff packed up, and it's like, we're getting the heck out of here, right? But the thing is, they go back to the door that they went out of, and it's not there anymore. Actually, it's not there. Like, it is there. It's just what happens is it doesn't lead out the same way. They basically break it open with some like carts or something like that. I don't know. I forgot. And they basically end up breaking the lock and all that on it. Like breaking the chains from the outside because they were locked down. You know what I mean? So they had to break the locks. And when they opened it up, it was just another door to another hallway. And that is what I call freaking insane. I would be so, like, I'd go crazy right there. I'd be like, what the heck? It was just so insane. Anyways, guys. Alright. Let's talk about, what should we talk about? And lastly, guys, we will talk about the... Hold on. That's John. I'll talk about how the Sasha Parker, the specialist, I guess, who gets scratches on her, and it says hello, but before that, they actually contacted the ghost and all that, and they scratched hello on her back. That's freaking insane. Anyways, guys, remember, I gave this movie a 9 out of 10. Grave Encounters. It's a really good watch. I recommend it to anybody. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for another hashtag Movie Madness, and I'll see you guys next time. Actually, I'll see you guys next Friday. See ya. Let's talk about the black guy's death, because I hated his death. It was so stupid. His name is TC, by the way. He's the cameraman, I believe. And basically, he goes over to this tub because it's weird. They were looking at this, I think it was like a tub of blood or something like that, and all of a sudden, freaking, the black guy gets pulled in by like a mutant or something like that, and he like disappears, and they flip over the tub, and like he wasn't there anymore. He like disappeared. I thought that was insane, guys. That was like, that messed up my mind bad. I was like, what if that happened to somebody I know? That would be crazy.